This video is kindly brought to you by the Deck of Many and Humblewood.net. Welcome back to the Gallant Goblin. I'm Theo, and today I'm here to talk to you about the campaign diary books from the Rook and the Raven. Now, the Rook and the Raven has materials that you can use for both your DM and your players, but I just want to talk about the player notebooks today. These are disc-bound, customizable 8.5 by 5.5 inch campaign diary books that you can customize to your own preferences as a player. This kind of notebook has these 8 free-floating discs that allow you to interchange the pages where you want. So if you're doing a campaign and you have a character, and let's say, unfortunately, your character's brain is eaten by a mind flayer. Well, in this kind of notebook, you can take the pages out and replace them with the pages of your new character and continue on as you were. If you want to rearrange your book and move your spells further up or your quest notes further back, you can do just as you like. But this notebook is the recently released Far Travelers collection, and it's a slight variation on their Mischief and Misadventures book. This one has a slightly different cover. It has this nice, beautiful map on the inside by Devin Rue, who does the maps for Critical Role. And when you order the books, you can choose between getting the regular Mischief and Misadventures book or the slightly more expensive Far Travelers one. They're $35 or $40 depending on which one you want. The basic notebook comes with 80 pages. You get 5 sets of character set pages, so it's 10 pages in all, and this has all the information that you need to run your character, everything from their abilities and their saving throws and their background and traits, and also has a page for you to keep track of their current hit points and all the information that may change during play. And because you don't necessarily want to have to rip out this page every time the character regains a hit point, the notebook comes with these nice wet erase overlays that you can put on top of the page, so you can use those wet erase markers to make those changes that happen within one game session. So that's really great. Next, you have your spell list, and it comes with 5 of these, and it has a place for you to write in the spell and what page number the spell is on if you need to look up the spell in one of your books. And it has a place for you to check off what kind of spell it is, what components it needs, all the pertinent information that you really need to play the game. They include 3 pages for your character background, so you can write up your character's backstory, because you always need to have that handy. They have 25 pages of session notes. These pages are specially lined pages that include a place for you to put the session number and the date and the location of the adventures that you have, so you can refer back to them later when you need to. They include 20 pages of basic lined notes for you to do with as you please. There are 5 what they call quad pages, and this is for you to track if you have an NPC you want to keep track of, or a particular monster you want to remember the important things, lore behind that creature or its vulnerabilities. You can do with these, again, as you like. They try to make these pages pretty flexible. You have 5 blank sketch pages if you need to jot down important rooms that you saw, maybe the tattoo that's on the back of the prisoner to learn how to escape from the prison, or important symbols that you may come across. You can jot them down and write some notes on them. And you have 5 pages for you to keep track of maps if you're mapping out a dungeon that you're visiting. The ledger you can use to track your own personal finances or the finances of your party, including how you spent your money and how you earned your money. The quest, jobs, and missions page can be used as your quest log, so you can remember everything your party needs to do from session to session, who gave you the quest, who you need to return to in order to collect your reward, if you've collected your reward, and if you've completed the task entirely. This is your faction page. It can be used to track your renown with the various factions in your adventure, who your points of contact are, what the mission statements and the goals of that particular faction are, so you know if you're serving them correctly, any other notes you may want to record. And on the back of the faction page, you have this page, which can be used to track maybe the various leaders of the faction, different levels of the faction, or maybe different locations where the faction is located. It's entirely up to you. This page can be used to draw a region map. It's in hexes. On the back of the page, you have information about that region, including the name, the climate, the borders, what's the dominant terrain, any landmarks or population centers that may exist there, and any other notes you need to have about that particular region. The town and district page is good for tracking the various communities you may visit, their locations, important landmarks or NPCs in that location, and other notes that you want to keep track of when you return to that town later on. This page is your timeline. You can use this to track maybe the mythology and the ancient history of the campaign setting that you're in, or maybe you just want to record what happens in your campaign, what the important moments of the campaign were and when they happened, if for some reason that is important to your campaign. You can also get these plastic sheets that are used to hold reference cards. Now this is a single plastic sheet that just has a few slits put in it, so you slide your card in. This style sheet holds your tarot size cards, like you might have from the deck of many. And this size sheet will hold your regular size reference cards. Now, due to the nature of the design of this, it's a little difficult to get your cards in there. The standard size cards fit a little bit better than the tarot size cards, but they still fit in with a little bit of effort, and you can have all your spell cards handy whenever you need them. And the Rook and the Raven are always coming out with new pages that you can add to your campaign diary. They have one that has critters and companions and conjurations and constructs for all those people and critters that are coming along with you on your adventures, and you want to keep track of their abilities. And it could also be used for beast shapes and transformations that may occur. So all these kind of little extra pages you can look at on their website and customize your book to exactly what you need. If you're a druid, if you're a bard, you may have different needs for your own personal campaign diary. And they don't just make these for Dungeons & Dragons. You can get them for Pathfinder 1st Edition, Starfinder, Shadowrun 5th Edition, the Star Wars settings from Fantasy Flight, and they have Call of Cthulhu. So if you want to have your campaign diary for other adventure sets, you can do that as well. I also want to say that the Discbound set that they have here is not something that was invented by the Rook and the Raven. This is something that you can get from other places as well. So some of the more well-known ones are Staples has what's called their ARC set, and Office Depot has their Tools set. So if you want to customize your books further with more generic pages, or these are dividers, you can go to Office Depot, you can go to Staples, you can go to a couple of other places online to get extra pages or things that you can add to your book. Now just make sure that you get the ones that are made for 8 discs. I know that these other sets come sometimes with 12 discs, so you need to make sure you get the right one. It's 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches with 8 discs. You can also replace these discs. Now the Rook and the Raven has some nice mithril discs if you want to make them a little bit more fancy. You can also get larger discs if you want to have a larger notebook with more pages. So this is all very customizable, and it's a really great way to keep track of your adventures. If you are the person in your campaign party that is keeping track of the notes, and hopefully you do have at least one person keeping notes in your campaign. And if you look at their website, you can see that they also have other things that you can do to make your book even more fancy for you. If you want a leather cover to keep it more protected, you can customize it just the way you want. So that's the Rook and the Raven campaign diary. A couple of other things to keep in mind. Due to the way this is designed, you want to be a little bit careful with the pages when you're taking them out and putting them back in, because those tabs can kind of wear down over time on the pages. So if you constantly move pages around in your notebook, they might wear out and they might not be able to hold on to the discs as well. So just be gentle when you're trying to change pages around, and maybe don't do it too often. Also, they do sell hole punchers that you can use to turn regular pieces of paper into disc-bound pages that you can put in your notebook. So if you want to be creative about it, you can go and buy those hole punchers, design something in your computer, cut them down to size, and make your own pages for these campaign diaries. The hole punchers do tend to be a little bit expensive. It looks like they are $30 and up at the various places. Again, just make sure that they are designed for the 8-disc size. So this is the one for players. Maybe sometime in the future we'll look at some of their campaign atlases or the DM's book that you can use to create your world and your campaign for your players. But this is the one for your players. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, please leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, we'd like to thank our sponsor, the Deck of Many. They have a new Humblewood campaign setting coming out soon. You can see on the screen here, beautiful bird-like creatures for you to play as player characters, lots of animal races, new spells, new campaign settings, a new adventure. It's very exciting, coming out this fall for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Otherwise, we'd like to thank you for joining us today. Please like the video, leave a comment, tell us what you think, ask us questions, subscribe to our channel, click the little bell so you get notified when we have new videos, and we hope you're having a marvelous day, and we'll see you next time on the Gallant Goblin.